AI can't touch these fields when it comes to actual training in the field, especially for a civil servant. They want to make officers out of young boys and girls. And we're getting to know real India is because you go and live in a village. Those can't be done away with or replicated outside of that real life. I would say a deterioration in the importance given to training because of these technological tools. I think sometimes you do lose the essence of what you're trying to convey to somebody who's just joined the service.
Let's talk a little about training. When you had your training again way back in the early 1990s, I'm sure things were very different from what it is today. Of course, now we have AI, we have different formats. How do you see the change happening in all these decades? What do you think should be further changed? What do you think has really worked? What do you think really hasn't worked? Both ways.
Actually, not just in my service or whatever training we did, our basic training is very essential and very simple and basic, fundamental in that sense because we have a foundational course in which for my batch, part of my batch was in Missouri, where all services meet and spend 2.5 months together. And later we have a professional training 1.5 years. So those are very well structured because they want to make officers out of young boys and girls. I was one of the youngest to join. I was just 23. So they're very well designed, I would say. We are fortunate in that sense. And the stress was more on esprit de corps, as they called it, and more on trekking together, doing these really tough treks or a village visit where we stayed with villagers and looked into their problems. That is much more important where character building is concerned. We're getting to know real India is because you go and live in a village for 10 days to 2 weeks. Those were essential and those can't be done away with or replicated outside of that real life. So AI can't touch these fields when it comes to actual training in the field, especially for a civil servant. And but having said that, let me also tell you that that foundation training apart, I think training is improving in a way, but also not improving. I have seen, I would say, a deterioration in the importance given to training in my service and in government. In some senses, it's because of these technological tools. I think sometimes you do lose the essence of what you're trying to convey to somebody who's just joined the service. I think more refresher courses are needed. And I think rather than IQ, you need EQ training. I think that's being missed out. When I was young, I remember doing a couple of leadership courses. They really changed my thinking because they kind of tell you how to deal with your subordinates and how everyone is not the same, and that improves your gender sensitivity. But there's a shortage of trainers all over India anyway, in all sectors. I had set up this Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs in Manesar, and I remember it was a struggle to get people to come even as guest faculty because of the distance. So trainers are a shortage in all sectors. Teachers are poorly paid in our universities, colleges, everywhere there's a decline. So why would the services be any different? I think the best way is to have guest lectures and not from your field. It's very important to expose everybody to different fields. I think that works much more. That creates real leaders.
Nirupama, coming back to the area of taxation, one of the thrust areas has been to really increase the tax base. We have been hearing about it for many, many years now. Now, that really hasn't happened. What, according to you, is the reason for not being able to expand the tax base the way one had envisaged?
I've not really dealt with that aspect much, as in because I've not been posted in the policy division of our Department of Revenue. But I think, in some sense, there's a lot of not just lack of awareness, but a tendency to avoid complying with the law in India, which is very unfortunate. The same people, when they go abroad, they quietly pay everything, including fines and penalties. They obey all these laws on the road. But when it comes to India, and that's despite tax rates falling so much. I mean, now we have among the lowest in the world. I I think a lot of it is attitudinal change, and maybe people think that I'm not seeing my tax money being used well, which is something we can improve. Because, for instance, in the US, whenever we travel, we do a lot of road travel if we go there. So you'll see this big billboard saying your tax dollars at work, and then there'll be accounts of how much money has been spent on this particular road. In India, we see it at a very local level, like that MP Lad scheme, if you're seeing. So if you're passing by Greater Kailash, you might see a board saying Saurabh Bhardwaj, so and so MLA has allotted so much fund,
Yeah.
but
But
it's
even
not
then,
done
it's
to
done
the
in a
extent it
very
should be done.
yeah, what you
Not
said,
done.
it's done in a very
Very
haphazard.
minuscule, very
Yeah,
haphazard, only once in a while. So
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it doesn't give me comfort as a citizen because I don't know who's spending where. I want to see the road outside my house fixed, right? Everybody wants to their local issues attended to. So when they see local governance failing, they tend to think that tax तो government को ही जा रहा है
कि
ना.
पैसा
You
इधर
can't
जा रहा है.
tell people that this is a local tax, the
Hmm.
municipal tax, this is a central tax. So you can't sit
Right.
and tell them that
No, that's a
your
very important and interesting point. Yes.
yeah. And so you can't really tell people कि, pay your tax, but they say कहाँ जा रहा है? I'm not getting
Absolutely.
benefits out of it. I think it's an attitudinal change, but it'll happen. I think slowly tax base is improving. It's increasing. The tax rates have come down quite a bit.